Hello, everyone, and welcome to my channel. Today, we are going to talk about a couple of very interesting aspects within meditation, things that I believe are often overlooked completely and never addressed within our society. But before we get there, let's quickly test this theory. What is the first thing that comes to mind when you think about the word meditation? Is it perhaps a monk straining in concentration, trying really hard to control his thoughts and exerting a lot of effort in doing so? Well, if that is the case, then this proves my point because a lot of people believe that meditation requires concentration, but that simply is not true. So let's unpack this. Why am I saying that you don't need to concentrate in order to meditate? Well, what is concentration? Concentration is a deliberate act of deep focus, and meditation, well, that is a state of deep being. That's not the same as concentration. We are taught from childhood that we need to concentrate, that we need to really focus and grind down hard at it all the time in order to achieve success, in order to have fulfilling lives, in order to have the best careers. So, concentration is a learned activity. We learn to concentrate. Society requires of us to concentrate. When we are not able to concentrate, we often judge ourselves, we often criticize ourselves, and we often feel frustrated with ourselves. And that is simply because the mind turns everything into a task, every single thing. And so after a while, even meditation becomes a task. It becomes a task oriented thing, something that requires effort, something that you maybe stress about. When was the last time that I meditated? But the moment that meditation, which is a natural state of being, becomes a task, becomes something to achieve, then the mind has already taken over. When that happens, you've missed the whole point of meditation and what it means to meditate. Meditation is a tool, and this tool is used to transcend your mind. But what does that mean? What does that mean to transcend your mind? I want to pause here for a moment and refer back to a very beautiful text within the Vedic scriptures in the Rig Veda. And this text says, Ekam sut Vipra Bahudha Vadanti. This roughly translates as the truth is one, but the wise speak of it as many different things. Or alternatively, reality is one, but the sages describe it in different ways. And this is definitely the case for meditation. Meditation can also be seen as awareness or simply as a state of being, a state of harmonic existence. So, this is a natural state, and this natural state does not require any effort or any strain. And to transcend something does not mean that you destroy that something. So with the case of meditation, you don't transcend your mind with meditation in order to destroy your mind or to destroy your thoughts or even to stop all of your thoughts altogether. It's simply a way of saying to go beyond it, to see deeper. And your mind is actually a tool, and that tool has been programmed by various different things within society. And many people mistake the mind for their identities, but your mind is not your identity. This is simply the software that you run on. And when you transcend your mind, you get to a point where you start to see a glimpse of the real you without the conditioning of society attached to that. This is also a different way of saying that meditation, in many ways, is equivalent to transcending the ego, because when you transcend the ego, you are no longer identified with it. And when you are no longer identified with it, you can see, perhaps for the first time, the real, authentic you, the you would have been years ago if not for societal programming and conditioning. Most people live identified with their thoughts and with their feelings. And when they live a life like that, then every single thought and every single feeling they feel immediately becomes me. Me, the me phenomenon. And the role of meditation is simply to reveal the observer behind these thoughts, behind these feelings. Remember that you cannot transcend something if you are still identified with that something, if you are still convinced that you are that person thinking those thoughts, that those thoughts are your own thoughts, and that those feelings are your own feelings. In order to transcend your mind, you really need to allow the healing powers of meditation or of complete awareness, state of being, to pull you out of that over identified state. I said it before, and I will say this again. Your mind is a program. Your mind is the software that's been installed in your being by the invisible forces and influences of life, of our society. We are not born, none of us are born with political ideas, with certain cultural ideas or preferences, with ideas about success or failure. These are things that are installed within each and every single one of us over the course of our lives. So ask yourself, who taught you what it means to live a good life? Who taught you what it means to be successful, or that you have to be successful in order to be happy? One of the biggest lies modern society has ever told us, that you need to be successful in order to live a meaningful life that will involve beautiful amounts of happiness sprinkled throughout your life. This is not the case. Who taught you what failure is and that you should never fail with something? What is failure? If we really unpack this, what is failure and what does that mean? And who taught you what makes you valuable? If you can discard those things of what people told you about yourself and your values and your meaning in life, what makes you as a person valuable? Because a lot of people don't know this. A lot of people, unfortunately, spend their entire lives living by these preconceived ideas and defending beliefs that they never actually consciously chose. These things were imposed upon them because your mind is programmed by society. Society programs and conditions all of us through the school system. Just the mere act of being born already sets a person up to be conditioned by society to think that they are a certain person, that they must believe certain things, that they must support certain political ideas, that they can only enter certain types of relationships, that they should mingle with certain classes of people. All of these things and so much more are simply part of societal conditioning. And the main problem is that this conditioning is mostly unconscious until you really start to question these things. And you can only question these things when you meditate. You will continue to think that you wanted certain things that you never consciously chose. And the sad thing is that most people are simply living their lives by reading of this script, and they never actually wrote that script. Freedom really then is a concept, is a state more than a concept that you achieve through awareness. And remember, awareness is just another way, another word for meditation, is another word for simply being. And there are also many other terms and words to describe this. When you meditate, you don't form new beliefs all of a sudden or new ideas all of a sudden. You simply begin to see all of these old ideas and beliefs that you've lived by your entire life, and how these ideas and beliefs are no longer serving you. They are no longer serving your best interest of living a happy, fulfilled life. Awareness and meditation ultimately shines this beautiful light on all of your unconscious patterns. And when you see these unconscious patterns clearly for the very first time, then they lose their power. And when they lose their power, you start to regain yours. When you meditate, you have mastered the skill of awareness. You are simply noticing your thoughts, you are noticing your emotions, you are noticing distractions. And the purpose of meditation is not to shut these things off, because that will require concentration, focus, judgment, criticism, all of those things. This is simply the art of sitting with whatever is rising up within your being and noticing it. And when you start to notice this more deeply and you start to inquire into these different states of being, such as your emotions, your thoughts, then you are doing a self inquiry. But when you are simply sitting or laying down, or even walking, or even existing and working and studying and flourishing and going to the gym, whatever it is that you do, in a state of complete awareness of what it is that you are doing, well, then you are meditating. If we take that position, then it's interesting to note that you can equally meditate on happiness and also on sorrow, because the principle of meditation says don't push anything aside, Simply become aware and sit with that thing. And isn't this a beautiful thing to think that you can meditate upon happiness? You can meditate upon joy. And when you are feeling negative emotions, you can also meditate upon them, because ultimately, what you resist, if you resist sadness, sorrow, anger, it will persist. So what you resist persists. So don't persist these negative states. Simply become aware of them and sit with them for a while. And when you sit with them in meditation, and you meditate on one thing only that's in your being, then you start to become aware of what is this thing, what is this being, this me, this self that's noticing my thoughts. What is this being, this self that have these emotions, that is straining against these distractions? In that sense, meditation is very much like psychological archaeology, because ultimately you can never change what remains invisible. Remember that your thoughts will change over time, your emotions as well, the sensations that you are feeling, the beliefs that you hold. But the core golden thread between all of these things is awareness. Awareness will always remain. Awareness is like the screen that the movie of life is playing on. It's being projected onto this screen. You can't create awareness. And remember that I'm using awareness interchangeably with meditation here. You don't create or practice meditation. Meditation is something that happens when you simply are, when there's no more distractions, when there's no more tension. It's a natural state of being. Relaxation, meditation, awareness, simply being is actually our human natural state of being. Tension is not a natural state. This is a learned state. Meditation is what remains when all of these things simply fall away. And they don't fall away through force, through forcing them away with your thoughts. They fall away because you've learned, by focusing on one thing only, how to naturally relax with that one thing, how to be okay with the fact that you are only focusing on one thing. And in that sense, meditation, awareness, simply being, is the way of living a holistic, balanced, beautiful life in harmony. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button, comment below, and subscribe to my channel. You can also support my work and this channel by subscribing to my Patreon community. The link will be in the description below. Namaste.